Night of the Sentinels, an X-Men adventure, published by Random House. Henry Peter Gyrick, head of the Mutant Control Agency, rushed to a secret base to interrogate the young mutant Jubilee. That very night, the X-Men had succeeded in destroying thousands of mutant registration files stored at agency headquarters. Gyrick was determined to find out who these mutants were any way he could.
Mutant Control File number 1123, subject Jubilee.
He had captured Jubilee, as he was sure she would lead him to the X-Men.
You can help us identify the most dangerous mutants of all.
I don't know anything. I'm just a kid.
Meanwhile, the X-Men's Blackbird jet returned home to the X-Mansion, site of Professor Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters and training ground for the young mutant X-Men.
Alas, dear friends, Morph is no longer, and Beast has been captured.
There, the X-Men learned that their colleague Morph was dead, and that fellow mutant Beast had been arrested for subversion and was in jail awaiting trial. Wolverine took the news hardest of all. Cyclops tried to help.
I know you feel badly.
You don't know nothing, little man.
Wolverine stormed out. He didn't need to listen to the feeble condolences of that goody-goody Cyclops. He needed to be alone with his pain. Angry and hurt, he left the X-Mansion and drove to a secluded spot where he could think.
I'll avenge you, friends. I swear it.
Back at the mansion, while watching the president on TV, Cyclops hatched a plan, but he would need Wolverine's help.
Last night, renegade mutants attacked the Mutant Control Agency. The attack was foiled by experimental robot policemen called Sentinels.
Wolverine was shooting pool in a local roadhouse when Cyclops finally caught up with him. He was still angry.
If you've come to apologize for leaving Beast and Morph behind, save your breath.
I don't apologize for making command decisions. But how would you like to locate the Sentinel's home base?
When and where?
That evening, the president sent for Gyrick and told him to shut down the mutant registration program. She was concerned that the program might be putting mutants in danger instead of protecting them. Gyrick hid his anger.
Those mutants were willing to sacrifice their lives. Did they have good reason to feel threatened?
Just outside the president's office, Gyrick's portable phone rang. It was Jubilee's father.
One of the mutants is here.
He still believed the Mutant Control Agency was supposed to help mutants, and he wanted to cooperate by reporting them. Cyclops was at his house. He said he was there to ask about Jubilee.
Keep him there.
Gyrick sent a Sentinel to capture the mutant. The giant robot arrived almost at once. As Cyclops left the house, a Sentinel loomed over him.
Surrender, mutant.
Of course. Not.
Cyclops removed his protective glasses and hit the robot with an optic blast from his powerful mutant eyes. The Sentinel's arm crashed onto a neighbor's lawn. Then the robot turned to fly away.
Sentinel returning to base for repairs.
Nearby, Storm monitored the robot's flight path.
I have the Sentinel on radar.
She worked the controls on the jet's flight panel and prepared to follow the robot as Cyclops had instructed. The Blackbird took off in pursuit of the wounded Sentinel. The X-Men knew the robot would lead them to its base. Cyclops' plan was working like a charm. The damaged robot crash-landed into the generator of the Sentinel base, cutting off all power. Jubilee's electromagnetic cuffs suddenly came loose. She sat up and grinned.
All right, time to blast out of this bogus joint.
And blast she did, right through the wall. She shot powerful plasmoids from her fingertips and made a hole big enough to run through. Gyrick saw her escape and ordered his robot force into action. Stop her! From out of nowhere, the robots appeared. Jubilee was surrounded by Sentinels. She sank to her knees with a groan.
Oh no! I just wanted to go home.
But there was Cyclops. Had the X-Men come to rescue her?
Jubilee, duck.
Cyclops fixed a Sentinel with a powerful optic blast and knocked its head off. The X-Men were on the scene. Gambit charged in and swung down to rescue Jubilee.
Did you miss me, Petite?
Oh.
Storm lured one Sentinel high up into the clouds, then zapped him back to Earth with a lightning bolt. Another Sentinel pounded Rogue into the floor, but her mutant powers protected her, and she wasn't hurt at all. She shook her head and got up.
Y'all ought to learn how to behave.
And promptly hammered that robot into scrap metal. She hurled its ruined metal shell through the air with her awesome strength. Wolverine leaped onto the back of the last Sentinel and clawed his way upward until he reached its neck. With a mighty cry, he plunged his adamantium claws into its neck.
This one's for you, Morph!
The Sentinel collapsed under Wolverine with a loud crash. Ruined Sentinels lay everywhere. Gyrick had fled. The X-Men had succeeded.
Is this all of them?
Yeah.
Ain't that enough?
It was time for Jubilee to say goodbye to her foster parents. She knew now that Professor X's School for Gifted Youngsters was the best place for her. There she would take her rightful place with the other X-Men and learn how to use her mutant powers for the benefit of mankind. Her parents were sorry to see her go, but they understood.
You will come back and visit.
Does a mall baby eat chili fries?
With a tear in her eye, Jubilee waved goodbye to her old life. Her future as one of the X-Men lay ahead. For more exciting action, be sure to check out Enter the X-Men, a book and audio cassette adventure available only from Random House.